Welcome back to Giant Monster Games. I'm Adrian, and we are playing some White Knights today. What do I think is opening hand? It is a one-lander. I'm gonna go with that. It is a one-lander, but I do have 3 1-drops, which all are very good. I think we're gonna keep it. I think we're gonna keep it today, guys. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna see if we can make the one-land hand a work of art, and we're also gonna deke our opponent out by playing Thraben Inspector right away. Because then they're going to think, oh, we're going up against Death and Taxes. Because that is a classical first-turn play right now for Death and Taxes is the Thraben Inspector. So why not make our opponent think something that might not necessarily be true? You can always make an argument, I guess, technically about a Student of Warfare, because you can always level it up, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And we're playing against something red. Something red and shiny, because this is technically a foil land. I always find foil lands very funny on MTGO. It just makes me laugh like every single time. And it looks like we're playing against Goblins. Question, are we playing against... It's a very weird first-turn Goblin play. That's actually a very bad first-turn Goblin play. I would rather play nothing than play Goblin Bushwhacker first turn, but to be quite honest on Goblins. Anyways, I wonder if we're playing against the Giant Monster Games Goblin deck. Well, that's not something we want. I think we swing in with Thraben Inspector and then play Student of Warfare. Why not? Attack with Thraben Inspector. If he blocks, he loses his creature. If he doesn't, he takes the damage, which is fine by us. And then we're going to play down Student of Warfare, ship it to our opponent. Oops. How do I undo? I don't remember how to undo. Someone once told me how to do this. I don't know how to do it. Yes, I guess. That's... How do you undo tapping lands? Well, that's super annoying. Super annoying. I'm gonna have to look into that. How do you undo tapping basic lands? Sigh. Super duper sigh. That is I forgot how to do it. And it doesn't show it. I'm in the middle of a game. I will look at it later. I will accept that is a huge punt and a lack of knowing how to use the system. I feel like they should have a thing where it's just to be like step backwards or something like this, but it doesn't. It says yield until end of turn. Oh, that's neat. Huh. Warren Inspector. This is not our Goblin deck. So what? Say double head strike. Whenever Warren Inspector deals damage to opponent, you may put a Goblin card from your hand into the battlefield. Ooh, very exciting. It's a very good Goblin card, actually. And we're just going to yield until end of turn. Why not? Let's see if it actually stops on end turn. It does not. It doesn't yield until end of turn. It literally just goes to your turn. Well, that's super annoying. And in the meantime, I think we play Student of Warfare like we were meant to do last time, which is super duper annoying. Super duper is the word of the day here. And then I think we swing in with Thraben Inspector again. Again, if he blocks, it's loss of value for him. If he doesn't block, then things, I guess. So, yeah, we're going to go for blocks, or we're going to go for attacks. Hopefully our opponent decides he doesn't want to... Okay, good. So, yeah. So, note to self. This yield until end of turn doesn't yield until end of turn. It literally yields till your turn. So, that's not good. That's not good. This is false advertising right here. False advertising. Goblin Chieftain, all the cards are messed up on this one. That's weird. So many messed up cards on my thing. And they're messed up for the rec, because everyone asks. Every single time it happens. It's because my MTGO is really weird. I think it's because I was playing MTGO on a proxy PC while I was playing on a Mac a long time ago. And I'm pretty sure when it downloaded the cards, or when it did this, it did all this weird stuff. It had a bunch of errors because playing on a PC, or playing on a Mac, playing on a PC, and it was bad. It crashed like nonstop. Like I'd had to edit the games down because I would just literally that would crash like every single game. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. And this is where our opponent gets to put a Goblin into play for free. Not the best thing for us. Keeping the one-lander hand. Remember the time I was like, I'm gonna keep the one-lander hand. Don't ever do that. Don't ever keep the one-lander hand. I mean, bad. It was bad on my part. Because we're probably going to lose simply because I kept a one-lander. Probably. If we draw a second land right now, we're not in any better place either, which is the problem. Mind you, we could always double level up this guy, give him first strike, and become 3/3. that will help a little bit. Do we draw a land? We draw a Ghost Quarter, which is not even close to what we need. Oh, if we would have drawn any other land, that would have been good. If we would have drawn a Plains, then we could have leveled this guy up to level 3. Well, what can we do anything? Are we gonna we basically die next turn if we don't block a bunch of stuff. So I think we go to our second main phase. We play the second Student of Warfare. Why not? And then we basically have to block a bunch of stuff. Chump block horrific is what we're gonna have to do. Welcome to the chump blocking game. Yeah. Okay, well, let's see how that pans out. And our opponent creates a lot of 2/5 goblins. Does this guy have haste? Oh yes, because goblins you control have haste. Yeah. Well, that is exciting. This is an exciting time. Our opponent just played a ton of goblins, and now we're dead. This is a neat thing. Just want to throw that out there. Neat thing. Very neat. Whenever a creature you control attacks, it gets +1/+1 for each other attacking creature. Nice. It shares a type with it. That's exciting. This is a fun goblin deck. It's I mean, it's pretty freaking fast. I guess if you had something, yeah, all these triggers. Let's just yield to all this. Yeah, pretty cool goblin deck. Some of these cards are not budget. Like I know for a fact this guy's not budget. This guy's not budget. This guy's not budget. So this is why the goblin deck I made, it doesn't look anything like this. Not even close. Go to sideboard. That was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Okay, what do we need? Well, Riders of Gavony, really good in this matchup. Brave the Elements, also good in this matchup. Pardon me about that. Spirit of Labyrinth, not so good. Aven Mindcensor, not so good. Oblivion Ring, not so good. What is not so good in this part? So, creatures we control get double smite is good. You are going to be slow. So, 2 of you are going to come out no matter what. I think Always Watching... one of those are going to come out because it's also a little bit slow. I think actually 2 of them. Is it good to have 2 of them out? That's the next question. Or is it better to take another one of these guys out? I think we're going to leave this guy in. No, he comes out as well. I'd rather have the Always Watching than that guy. So, okay, we're going to go back. We're going for game 2 against not budget goblins. We're going to play first because I think we need to keep a 2-lander hand for one. And this is actually substantially better. Substantially better. So ship it. Oh no, don't ship it. Don't ship it. Do not ship it. keep our opening hand. Go to our first main step. Panic. All panicking all the time. Here we go. Okay, playing that. Go to our opponent's turn. Note to self, don't just randomly hit the 6 button for no reason. That's how you skip your entire turn. I've done it before. I've done it before while recording, not just while I'm not recording. So don't do that. Don't ever do it. It's a really bad idea. It's a bad call. It's not really fun for anyone, so don't do it. Okay, so we're playing against goblins. So the things we're going to have to keep in mind. Brave the Elements is going to be nice. Goblin Guide, that's fun. Goblin Guide is very nice. So nice, in fact, that... we're not going to do anything about it. We're probably going to Celestial Flare it. Probably. So, what is being revealed? It is a Plains. Sweet. We get to draw free Plains. Free Plains for us. That's exciting. And we're just going to skip through to our turn. So, we're probably going to... We could play Knight of the Holy Nimbus, which just becomes the infinite chump blocker against goblins, which is nice. The other option is we can let him swing in again, and we can Celestial Flare this guy, hopefully seeing another land. Not so reliable, though. I think we're going to go like this. Play Knight of the Holy Nimbus, which is really good in this matchup, because our opponent has to pay 2, otherwise it just gets regenerated. So we can just jump block for days, and days, and days. Also, the creature gets flanking, or it has flanking as well, so the creature's going to get a little bit smaller as we play it. So, that's the thing. Depending on what our opponent plays as well, we may play Knight Exemplar to give this guy +1/+1 and indestructible. That is going to be the temporary plan. We'll see. Foundry Street Denizen. Okay, so our opponent has a slower opening hand, which is nice, because he only has a single land. which is very nice if you ask me. And this is only when he gets blocked, right? Whenever a creature with outflanking blocks this creature. Yes, so flanking doesn't work the other way around. It's just when someone else when he gets blocked. Which is nice. Oh, sweet. Oh, if we should have played the Celestial Flare, I guess. Well, we didn't know. So we didn't know. I think what we do is we go like this. Knight Exemplar swing for 3? I don't see why not. I don't see why not. And he's indestructible, so our opponent blocking him doesn't really help him at all. So go for days. And if he decides he's going to block it as well, we just get to kill his creature. So that's fun. Super fun. Knights, you're on your way. And then ship it through to our opponent. We're going to play this guy next turn, which is going to be very fun. So knights we control have double strike now. So yeah, this guy's going to be fantastic, and this guy's going to be very fun. Because this turns into 6 damage now. This guy's, well, still 4 damage. Okay, so I'm assuming he doesn't swing it with Knight Foundry Street Denizen because we have first strike. Doesn't really help him at all. He might swing with both of them. Probably not. Oh, I guess he does. I guess he does. So yeah, I guess we'll see what he reveals a Thraben Inspector. Well, that's fine. And for blocks, we are just going to block the Foundry Street Denizen. Because I would rather the Foundry Street Denizen go away. Go away, Foundry Street Denizen. Because I'll happily take Goblin Guide revealing cards and potentially revealing us a land. I'm okay with that. That is not a problem for me. Okay, and then I think I'm thinking we may actually get rid of Legion Loyalist. Because Legion Loyalist creates what? If you attack with 2 or more, at least 2 other creatures, your creatures get first strike. So he needs to play something with haste to start out with. And I almost think... So, I mean, this guy would be good. Don't get me wrong. This guy would be very good. Because this is Knights you control have double strike, including this guy. So if we play this guy, swing with both these guys, that's a fair amount of damage. Our opponent's stuck on 1 land. I mean, I think we're going to play the aggro game here. Instead of us holding back, our opponent has 1 land, so they're not going to do a lot of damage no matter what happens. And he's also indestructible now, so they have to deal with Knight Exemplar first. So attack with all creatures and then ship it to our opponent. See if they have a response. I'm assuming they don't. No, they scoop it. They know they can't take it. And I don't think we change anything. Or do we? This guy is not fast enough. None of him is fast enough. Always watching is nice, but I think the other options we put in are better. I think they're just hands down better. Actually, I kind of want to take out 1 Brave the Elements. And I think putting in either another Oblivion Ring or another Always Watching. I think we're going to put in another Oblivion Ring. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the way we're going to go. Oblivion Ring at least allows us to remove something, compared to Celestial Flare, which they kind of just have to sacrifice a creature, which is not as good for us. So, yeah. Ooh, 4-lander hand. Mind you, we have a healthy amount of stuff here. I think we're going to keep it. Again, chump blocker for days, lifelink, and first strike, which is really good, and then make stuff indestructible. Kind of hard not to say yes to that. It's pretty good. I mean, we'll keep it. We know the rule of thumb, if you have 4 lands in hand, you're probably going to draw a 5th land. So, that's a thing to keep in mind. Now, what is it? Is it Foundry Street Denizen? Yeah, there you go. Foundry Street Denizen. You're so good. You're like a baby Goblin Pile Driver. Sort of. Sort of like a baby Goblin Pile Driver. And, oh, it's not a... It's, oh. Ooh. If we get to turn 4, our opponent is serious trouble. Basically, if you can get double Knight Exemplar into play, your opponent almost has no way of stopping you. Because it makes everything indestructible. So that's a thing. So, okay, so 2 creatures. Foundry Street Denizen comes in as a reasonably big creature. But again, the next turn we can play in Holy Knight, Knight of the Holy Nimbus. And our opponent will have to just be like chump. Our opponent has to deal with it. Otherwise, it will just kill whatever. Not necessarily kill, but it will just be regenerated over and over again. So that is super funny. Because this guy doesn't have trample. He just gets bigger. So that's totally fine by me. Totally fine by me. Go to our turn. We're not going to block. We have nothing to block with. We're not going to play anything, so nothing to do. Going to our turn. Okay. So, on our turn, Knight of the Holy Nimbus, or do we play something better? Thraben Inspector, not necessarily better. Knight of the Holy Nimbus, though, is very good. Get that into play. We have our chump blocker. Going to prevent some damage. And then it's going to be Knight Exemplar next turn, and then the turn after that, we're basically Evel the Knight. So unless he starts getting a lot of tokens, which he can do. We've seen it. Our first game was lost by, like, the craziness. So unless he gets a whole bunch of tokens, we are going to be doing some serious damage to our opponent, which is super fun. I will probably actually, depending on what he plays, if he plays something else, we probably hold up Knight of the Holy Nimbus. If not, we're probably going to swing in with it, just to start getting some damage and make him be like, oh god, I have to block. Ooh, land. 3 land is very scary for a Goblin deck. That means he may be able to spew his deck onto the table real quick here. That is also within range of, like, the big winners in the deck, which, again, we can't risk. We can't risk not blocking them. We'll see. It's gonna be a see thing. We'll see how it goes. The other option, theoretically, is also Knight of Meadowgrain and Thraben Inspector. We get a couple more blocking creatures, theoretically, so we'll see what he plays. The one nice thing about... Okay, so he's going to pay to make it so it can't be regenerated, which means he's going to guarantee get damage in, which is kind of funny. It's funny. Now he's going to bolt it. Even better. That's super funny. So our opponent wastes 3 mana to bolt Knight of the Holy Nimbus. That's super funny. And he swings in for 3. Okay, so maybe next turn we will actually do the Meadowgrain and Thraben Inspector. Just because, I mean, Knight Exemplar is nice and all, but Knight Exemplar is better once we have Knights in play. Unfortunately, Thraben Inspector doesn't get indestructible, but it is a thing that happens. We'll see what we draw as well. That's going to be the next big step. And we draw the Paladin. Battlecry is always fun. I think what we do is... I think it's going to have to be Knight of the Meadowgrain and Thraben Inspector. Yeah. And Thraben Inspector. Inspector Gadget. Dun 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 dun. Creates a token. Ships it to our opponent's turn. And then next turn we'll probably play Knight Exemplar at that turn. And then we can start swinging with Knight of Meadowgrain. Because we don't want our opponent staying alive very much longer. Especially playing against this Goblins deck. This is a scary Goblin deck. Not like the deck I have is scary, but this one's way more scary. Running actual lightning bolts, running other things. Because he can just bolt Knight of Meadowgrain. Mog War Marshal is not that scary. It's not amazing, but it's not scary either. Yeah. The nice thing is because we still have First Strike, we can block the Foundry Seat Denizen. I should always yield to this. I don't need to see that it gets bigger. I will see it when he goes to combat. So, I mean, we still have First Strike. So keep that in mind. Even though he's swinging in with... Ooh, that's a little bit scarier. Mildly scarier, but still a little bit scarier. And... So they get +1/+0 and haste. So we're going to block the big guy. And we're still going to take, what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 damage. Probably not all 10 damage. We'll probably block the Bushwhacker. So it'll be 2, 4, 6, 8 damage. Not amazing, but not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. And depending on what we draw, we're probably going to throw down a Knight Exemplar, just because we need to be able to block stuff. So, okay, combat. You go here. You can just go here, I guess. I mean, this guy's going to be either paid for or sacrificed anyways. And we gain 2 life from this as well, which is nice. Scary times. The scariest of times. We lose our Thraben Inspector, unfortunately. But we do trade with the Thraben Inspector, so he also kills the Bushwhacker. We take 4 damage. We're down to 8. Oh, we take 6 damage. Well, sorry. Theoretically, we take 8 damage, but we gained 2 life from the Meadowgrain. So, likely what I'm going to do is probably play Knight Exemplar. But it depends on what we draw. Nimbus. Well, we got to play the Plains for sure. What are we more scared of? If we play Nimbus... we can block some goblins. He's 1 card in hand, so I think he's kind of out of gas. So I think it is actually going this way. So not being as effective on our mana. Like, we're not keeping as good of tempo. But I think this is actually the better bet. And then we have to hold up for next turn. We can't risk him, like, playing something to get everything bigger. But we can block with this guy with indestructible lifelink, which is nice. If it had vigilance, that'd be amazing. If we had all he was watching in play, that'd be amazing. But we don't, so we're going to be doing this. So it's going to be Knight of Meadowgrain blocking. Is he paying the Echo? I'm assuming he's not paying the Echo. He does pay the Echo. Okay, that's neat. Fair enough. I guess he gets to swing in with 1/1 and then get another 1/1 token. Oh, he draws a land. Ouch. Not what our opponent's looking for. And it's another Mogg War Marshal. Okay. I think our opponent's out of gas. He didn't manage to get the kill in, which means it's going to be really hard for him to get the kill in from here on out. Because we can drop another Knight Exemplar, make everything indestructible, which is not really feasible for our opponent. And then we kind of just do our thing. And we even have another Knight to round it all out. Okay, so it's going to be Knight Exemplar. 1, 2, 3. Our opponent might just scoop as soon as we sees we're about to drop. And we don't even need to play Knight of the Holy Nimbus anymore. We can just play the Paladin. And we'll see if our opponent decides he wants to scoop or if he wants to keep playing out. It's going to be really hard. I mean, I don't know how he actually comes back from this, to be honest. Yeah. So we swing in. We swing in with the Knight of... we swing with Knight of Meadowgrain. It does get tapped down, which is unfortunate. But, again, I would rather be doing 4 damage a turn and gaining 4 life. Because it just kind of forces him have to respond, right? So he's going to just be chump blocking with his small goblins, which is totally fine for us. But we might just attack outright next turn, to be honest. Because we have Battle Cry, so we get everything gets +1. So he kind of has to block. Do we have lethal on board actually next turn? So it'd be, what, 5... No, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Not lethal, but it's getting close. Getting very close. So, okay, so he's going to pay the Echo. He may as well pay the Echo. Again, if he chump... I'm surprised he didn't actually chump block with the Mogg War Marshal. Gets a chump blocker, gets a token. Doesn't really lose anything from it. Not paying the Echo cost. Okay. So he just gets a token. Surprised he wouldn't, like, why wouldn't you want to do the Echo cost? Oh, he has a lot of ways out of this. By the way, he does have a lot of ways out of this. Oh, but our opponent doesn't do it. Our opponent scoops it. He could have drawn something. I guess he knew he wasn't going to be able to come back from this. So this has been White Knights against not very budget goblins. Until next time, my name is Adrian, this is Giant Monster Games, and don't forget to game like a giant monster. Thanks for watching the videos here on Giant Monster Games. If you want to support the channel directly, we now have a Patreon page which you can go and become part of the broader Giant Monster Games community. Additionally, if you want to see some other awesome videos, you can click right here or right here.